That's a jolly swagman, can buy a billabong. The shade of a coolabah tree, and they sang as they watched and waited till his billy ball. Young come and waltz and Matilda with me. Waltz and Matilda, waltz and Matilda. You come and waltz and Matilda with me. And they sang as they watched and waited.
What a beautiful day. Alright, g'day. I'm Richard Musgrave-Evans, and today I'm on another painting trip. Inland Australia. Darling River, a beautiful river system. Got a great time of year, not much wind, beautiful sunny days. So it looks like it should be a good trip. Really looking forward to it. Looking forward to that cup of tea too. Okay, g'day there. I'm Richard Musgrave-Evans and welcome back. Today I'm on the Darling River, New South Wales, Australia of course. Now, today's subject is about, as you can see up here, we've got a beautiful bank. It's about getting that bank and the reflections just below it in the picture. If I just stand out of the way a little bit, that's better, look at that. It's not so bleached out. Right, so there's the basic effect I'm after. Today I'm painting on a white canvas that I've primed to a neutral tone, so I've put a raw sienna wash over it just to get rid of that bleached out white look. Alright, and as usual I've blocked in just the basic darks that I want to compose the picture, and now I've got a basic idea of what I want. I'll get into it. Right, let's do this. Okay, as usual, biggest differences. I might work with a little bit more of the dark tones of that foliage out there. So I've got some burnt sienna, magenta, bit of viridian green with white, just the white to lighten it of course. And we'll just have a look what we've got. I like to put the darks in first, so I'll just put some of them in. It needs to be a little bit warmer with some magenta. So I want to put some of those, the shadow tones of the trunks as well as the foliage colour. You've got the shadow tones of the trunks, which is more of a beautiful dusty mauve colour. I'll bang some of those in. Got the flies again today, just seems to be the way it goes. Now we've got that done. Just go for a little bit of paper towel. Okay, next biggest difference is, you know, the biggest difference is probably the sky, because that's already been primed. It's not too far off the colour of the bank anyway, so I'll go for the sky. Alright, what's today's sky? It's going to have a lot of white in it as usual. Blue. Try a bit of burnt sienna on this one, just to knock it back a bit. Touch of yellow ochre, a bit more blue. Let's see what we've got here. Whip up a nice brew. Might have to go a little bit darker, I reckon, so I'll just introduce a little bit more blue, so there's not so much white in the mix. Alright, let's have a look what we've got here. Yeah, it needs to go darker, so that's the thing about painting on location, it's very easy to judge the colours. It might be harder to actually paint because everything's changing, but at least you can judge the colours. Gives you somewhere to go. Plenty of flies around today, plenty of flies. Alright, let's do this. That's it. Just bang that in like so. Putting some in the gaps. Right. Now as I get a bit higher, of course it goes darker, so there's going to be more blue. It's also going to be slightly more of a red colour, so I'll try a bit of that magic magenta in for the mix. Lovely juicy paint, juicy paint. Alright, lay that in. What have we got? Yeah, that's about it. In. Get up here in the corner. Blend them together a little. Bit of blending. I like to pull down like so, wipe the palette knife clean. And what that does, it allows you to blend without getting any dirty marks in amongst it all. Now I'll just go a little bit darker for the very tip of the blue sky up high. Not too much darker, just a little. Plug that in. Alright. Okay, a bit of blending. Just stand back and have a look. Okay, the next biggest difference will be, we got here, that water, so let's put that in. I've gone some burnt sienna, gonna need white. I've gone burnt sienna, yellow ochre and viridian green. With a little bit of white just to milk it out a bit because the water has a touch of milk about it. What do we got here? Yeah, a bit more white just to frost it out. Yeah, okay. Right. Don't know if you can see, there's a nice bank just on the other side here. Just going to put that in there. You can put the paint on any which way you want with the knife, like I'm doing now, just to get the coverage. Then it's good to finish with these downward strokes, because what that does, gives the feeling of reflections. Okay. I'll just get some of this bank colour in. I've got the bank colour there, I'll introduce it into the water. Stick this blue over here, I might need that later on. Haven't got much room on the palette today because I'm using a small palette. Okay, here we go. Bank colours. What colour is the bank going to be today? Burnt sienna, yellow ochre and white. Maybe grey it off a touch with some of this purple mix over here. Let's just have a look at that. There you go. Yeah, not too bad. Maybe a little bit more yellow ochre. The sun always, even if the earth is kind of a grey colour, it's fairly washed out. Hang on, I'll get out the light so we can have a look. It's a fairly washed out grey colour, but the sun, when it hits that colour, seems to make it more of a sunlight colour, which means it gets more yellow in it. That's what's going on here. That's why I end up warming up the sun colours. Okay. More magenta in that mix. Right. Now the reflections today, quite often the reflections are a key down version of what the actual bank itself is. The reflections today are fairly light, like the bank. They're not overly darker, they're fairly light, which is good. I'll just bung that in. I'm in fairly loosely now. So, gonna add a little bit more green to the bottom of that one. Smudge it. Right, now let's have a look what we've got here. What I'll do now is I'll use this palette knife Plein, go for the edge, pull straight down, like so. To tell you the truth, hold that one there for now. Let's use the bigger knife for that one. Okay, so we go like so, sorry, excuse me, and pull straight down. What that does, it introduces all those colours. Keep the knife very clean between each one. Introduces all those colours in a downward reflective way. Wipe that. Ooh. Like so. Okay, I'll stand back and have a look at that. Right. Gonna mix up fairly light tone here. Oh, we've got a bit of green thrown in there. That's not what I'm planning. I'll just get rid of that. Okay. Just trying to get that bank, that nice bank over there. Bung that in. Okay. Now, mix up a bit more of this bank colour here. Fill in a few of the gaps. That like so. Add a bit of variety to the flow. Maybe have that one go that way so it's jutting up and down and moving around. Okay, pull that down like so. Right, now let's introduce, we've already put the shadow tones of the, hang on, what do we got here? It's quite bleached out, I can't seem to get rid of that. Anyway, we've already put the shadow tones of the trees in. Now I'm going to put the light source of the trees on top. So I'll mix up a nice light source colour. There we go here. Good combo of burnt sienna, yellow ochre, iridium green again. Yeah. Even a touch of orange. There's quite a bit of warmth in that today. Lighten her off the tone with a bit of white. Just touch her on, see what we've got here. Very lightly touch so that the undercolours come through. Plenty of fly action. Yes, this is what's happening here now. Yeah, you want the undercolours to come through the mix. Just mixing up a bit of a dusty mauve over here to half mix into my mix. You know I like to half mix. that dusty mo's half mixed into this colour, so as the trees recede further away here, they're a little bit lighter and slightly more mauve. Not too much, we don't want to get too carried away with that. What do you got here? Alright, let's stand back. Whoops, what is that? That was not a colour I intended on doing. Okay, now bit of green, magenta. I've lost a few of those shadow tones, so I've just mixed up a bit of brilliant green and magenta and just lightly putting some of those shadows back in. That's the thing, I like to put light on dark, but sometimes putting dark on light is just fine as well. Now, the trick I like to use, clean palette knife, just to soften that foliage, just lightly pull the sky into it, only a half touching, just touching. I'll grab a new piece of towel because you've got to have a very fresh, clean knife when you do this trick. Just pull that down to there. Now just lightly touch, just pull through. Oops. Better. Just to soften the edge of the whole thing. Sometimes go the other way. Gives the feeling of the light emulating up into the sky. Let's have a look. Okay. Now I'm enjoying the colour of this bank. Before I was making up the colour of the bank, I was saying burnt sienna, yellow ochre and white and whatever. I'm actually finding what's happening here as I've been going on, I'm mixing yellow ochre and magenta and white. It seems to be a good colour for this. Let's have a look, I'll just keep going with that one. I'm mixing it at the moment. It's a good colour because the yellow ochre is the sunlight, but the magenta is that kind of earthy grey colour when they mix together. What have I done there? I might have to stand back and have a look. Hang on, right? I'll take some paint off, that's what I'll do. Yeah, that's it, take some paint off. That's what's good about the knife. You can give it and you can take it away. Now let's just put a little bit of that, a little bit of grass foliage, so I'll just bung some of that in. Okay, now I'm noticing, where is my damn colour, my watercolour? Is that the colour of the water? See that clank? Alright, now, where that shadow, just up here we've got a shadow from that tree casting down into the water, and so that's getting rid of that beautiful bank colour and make it more of a green reflection down. So what I've got to do is do the same thing here. Just lightly put it in how I want it. First, there, and the others, maybe a touch there. Now, clean the knife again, pull straight through. see what I'm doing. Hang on, I'll get out of the way. A little bit of a pull through here, there we go. Alright, now, biggest differences are some of that lovely foliage. Not foliage, sorry, what am I talking about? The branches on the gum tree branches themselves. Let's mix up a nice dusty colour. Now, what do we got? I'm starting off fairly mauve. White. Bit of fly action. Okay, what have we got here? Put the pellet knife on edge. Create some of that drama. Love painting on location. The colours are there. The colours are there to be seen. Half pulling that foliage colour in. Okay, now we'll lighten up a bit. Lighter tone, white, yellow ochre, orange, something light. Where the sun's really hitting the foliage, the branches, sorry, what do I keep saying that? Put the pellet knife on edge, create some nice lines. You know, in a minute, oops, what am I doing? Hang on. Here I'm missing a bit of tree action, so let's just put some in. Plein knife, pull through. Just lightly touching, very little, lightly. Plein knife again, just get this here, pull that down like so. Move some of that paint to one side, let's get some white. Hang on, clean that knife. We'll start again with a nice new piece of paper. Move this stuff to one side, clean this area so I can work better. Okay, now white, yellow ochre, nice light tone. Take a bit of paint off here. Okay. That's just using a lighter colour now just to get a few more accents and highlights. More yellow ochre in that mix, it's too white. Bring it down. I think I want to mix a nice accent here. What do we got? White, yellow ochre, more yellow ochre. I want it to be accented there, so I've brightened the paint up. I'll have a look. Oh, very good. Building up a bit more energy in the paint. clean knife. Mixing up a nice shadow tone, purpley blue shadow sort of colour. Some of that in. I'm just going for the edges of the bank here. There's some nice colours there. What I might do here is pull it through like so, like that. And you rip the paint off to get that nice blend of colours. Okay. That's too light, darken off a bit. Nice shadow there. Shadow there. It's all fun and games, Okay, what have I got? Lightly pull some of this through again. Lightly pull it through. Now, clean that up. It just softens the top. Alright, okay. Bit of white, bit of accent. Feel like I need some more sting here. This is where you go by feel. So that's not white enough. Now I've got that white in there. Pull it through a bit. Take some of the paint off here by going like so, bring it back to the lovely shadow tone there, like that. Soften that a bit. Clean knife. What have we got? Okay, move all this stuff. Where are we putting that? Actually, yeah, put it there. Clean up the area again. Now, some of this blue from earlier on can come back. I'm going to just put a little bit of blue into the water. There's a few bits of blue down low in here. Just soften that sky again. It's always good to have a soft sky contrasting the harshness of other things, like the bank's quite harsh. Have a soft sky to contrast it. Take a bit of paint off here. Pulling the paint off there. Okay, now soften that again. Alright, now a little bit of blue. You don't want to overdo this because it's not overdone. Maybe just a few diagonal marks this way because the rest of the reflections are going down. Sometimes bring it across this way, vertical I guess. Hang on, vertical, horizontal. Okay, horizontal, that'll do it. Oh dear, what do you do? Yeah, now I notice there's a little bit coming along here, so I might just bung a bit of that in. Be very, very careful doing these. I'll stand back and have a look. bit of an accent. Grab that. And just soften that edge a bit like so. Couple of verticals. Yep, might use the thingy to get rid of that, went a bit carried away. Just narrow this one off a bit. You'll just see here, taking the paint off I can bring it back into a final line. Looks better. Line mine so. All very good. Now this edge here I just need to soften a bit. So pull that back in like so. Maybe just lift that edge slightly higher for a composition reason. Just holds that edge of the painting up. I felt like that side of the painting was dropping a bit. So by putting extra tone up here, it's pulling that edge back up. Now there's a nice log jutting out. Let's see if we've got a shadow colour on it. Yeah, we have. Because I've got the shadow colour there already underneath, there's a nice log jutting its way out into the water like so. So I can take the paint off to highlight it. So run out of that undertone, so I just had to add a bit on the edge of the knife like so. It's just a fallen down tree basically, so it's got its branches dropping into the water. Now I'll take paint off. There's your edge of your tree. Look at that. That's the beauty of having the paint underneath ready to go. You can make branches just by pulling the paint off with the edge of the knife. Yeah, those flies are having fun today. As usual, it always happens. That's the beauty of the inland Australia for you. Putting a few of those shadow tones in. Okay, so well, that's basically it. We've got pretty much what I wanted. I was telling at the start that I wanted that beautiful bank reflective quality here, and that's pretty much what the painting's about. So I reckon I'll leave it at that, and we'll go from there. Alright, now if you like the video, remember to like the video, forward it on to your friends, and subscribe. Until next time, cheers. Okay, there you go, there's the subject. Beautiful Darling River. Those fantastic reflections. Alright. Now here's the painting. Now you see, I'll just pan in a bit, you'll see that I've really enjoyed the chunkiness of the bank. I've really worked on that, contrasting dramatically with the softness of the water. And you can see in the foreground here where I said where I pulled the paint off with the edge of the palette knife back to the shadow tone to make those trunks. Pan up to the foliage, you can see it's all palette knife work on edge to create those branches. And the sky is all palette knife, and like I showed earlier, you pull through with a dry knife, a clean knife, to get those soft edges, which is very hard to achieve normally with a palette knife. So you've got that contrast of soft and hard. So there's your basic overall effect. Okay. The palette. The usual colours: cobalt blue, burnt sienna, alizarin crimson, yellow ochre, cad orange, titanium white with a fly buzzing through it, magenta and viridian green. That's your basic stuff. Right, there you go. Reflections, chunkiness of bank, softness of reflections. Thank you.
And his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come and waltz and Mattel